Welcome back, this is Taco Bowler Gaming, and today we have a timeline video of my successful one faith run as the Austrian Emperor. The strategy that I used, credit to Budget Monk, was a strategy that was very, very powerful. It was outlined in his playlist, absolutely killing it as Austria, and a link of that is in the description, at least on my channel. This will be posted both to Taco Bowler Gaming as well as to the League of Average Gaming. So if you are a follower, a subscriber of Taco Bowler Gaming, I am a part of the League of Average Gaming. That's where the Discord takes place for our community, and I post some timeline stuff over there, as well as the full videos of my new playthroughs on my own channel, Thic Borders Gaming. So the link to the other channel should be in the description of this video. Going ahead and hit play. So the main crux of this strategy was to take the places you need to take from Venice and the Papal State, but not take them all yourself. And so you'll notice that I will give some to Milan, give some to Florence, give some to Ferrara. This is the only things you need to take yourself are Rome, so that you can, because it just has to be owned by the Emperor or a part of the Empire, and so you can just own it as the last thing you take, and then defeat the Shadow Kingdom or keep it from firing, and then release it on the event when the Catholics say, hey, give Rome back. I took a few more of these provinces, particularly from Venice, and then I took this one here to get a border on Naples. The other big key part of the strategy, of course, is to get the personal union on Bohemia, but also to attack Denmark with the transfer vassal age bonus there, so that you can transfer Norway and Sweden. If you are watching Taco Bowler Gaming, I actually did this in my Bohemia campaign, the same general strategy, conquering Denmark, or attacking Denmark and taking Norway and taking Sweden. This is where I got that idea from. I happened to also use it on Aragon/Castile and took Naples as well. That wound up being a bad decision after I revoked the privilege, because Naples actually counted all of these guys in its strength, in its liberty desire, whereas none of the other ones do, because they're members of the Empire. So don't do that. But that was something that I did as well. You, of course, get the PU on Bohemia and Hungary. I did not actually wind up successfully stealing any of the vassals. It took me too long to get up here, and the Age of Reformations hit. But I put my throne on Brandenburg, I think, or Brandenburg put his dynasty on me after he had put his dynasty on Denmark. So I was actually able to claim the throne of Denmark, and I wound up getting Denmark and Norway as personal unions instead of Norway and Sweden as a vassal, and that wound up being really, really nice, as Denmark would expand in the later game. I would continue to work on the Imperial reforms. I'm going to ever so slowly move out here. Of course, I have this. You're going to see things show up here. We have Catalonia. That is a vassal of mine. I took a little bit from Austria here, or from Aragon here. I'm going to move very slowly through here and build up my power base, building more princes. I'm just working on revoking the privilege. You can see I've taken Denmark as my PU at this point, taken a little bit of land for myself, and Norway came with them. Sweden was angry. Sweden did not. You can see I'm building up over here. At some point, the Protestant leagues did fire. I did manage to stop the Reformation better than I did in my Bohemia campaign on my channel, but the league fired. It had 3 members. It had Provence, which was leading it, and then it had France and the Ottomans. So at some point, I declared on an ally of Provence and full annexed Provence, which left only the French and the Ottomans. They never attacked, but I kind of had to be very hesitant to attack anyone big, like a Russia or anything like that, as long as that league was there, until finally it went away and I was able to pass the last couple of imperial reforms, which was nice. And I finally got the big vassal swarm that we all know and love from revoking the privilege. That was when I really went crazy. So you can see I've attacked Provence, at least once. I will soon attack again, and I will start to take some of Brazil. Most of the colonies that I take, these are all going to be white because as a timeline, they were, this is Castilian. It wasn't white at the time. Um, Most of the colonies that I took, I just took after I full annexed the Overlord. But I think I took France's colonies in Brazil first. But for the most part, that was not the way that worked. I would just full annex the Overlord and pick up the colonies as I was done. Just so we know that this was done in the Golden Century patch, so prior to Manchu coming out. In fact, I had to rush it as Manchu was coming out. So you can see I'm taking Brazil here from the French, and that means I'm fighting the French, and so this was about the time I revoked. Actually, I think I revoked in about, roughly the late 1500s. And so then I will begin to push out. You can see some of my vassals already being given land over here in the Ottomans as we attacked the Ottomans. Ragusa, Bosnia, they all got land there. Here we're attacking Lithuania. We're really starting to go. You'll notice that when you notice that this area becomes mine, that's when I've revoked for sure. I also attack here very quickly and start feeding it to my vassals. Now this was a one faith run. So not only am I trying to conquer the world, I'm trying to turn it all Catholic. The basic idea was that when you have revoked the privilege as the HRE, or as the Emperor of the HRE, you have all these vassals. So I may only get 6 or 7 missionaries with religious ideas and owning all the proper land, but every one of my vassals gets 1 missionary. Right, and so each one of them could be doing, and I could have 20 missionaries working at any one time. Now, that didn't actually happen because I took all their money from diverting trade, and I had to change that late in the game in order to get it. Realized that I made that mistake. But in theory, I think that still works. Although, I think in 1.30, doing it as Sunni, for a one faith as Sunni is going to be a lot easier because you can use propagate religion in trade companies to convert like everything over here, and then just move your capital to Africa or something, and then use the same thing to convert all over here. You probably wouldn't even need a single missionary to get a one faith, as Sunni is going to be crazy overpowered. But I did have to do that here. Now you'll notice that I'm giving this land to vassals, right? I'm giving this to Albania, Provence, Pisa. This is all going to vassals. This will all go to vassals. But I had to keep the land in trade companies. Any land in a trade company, I had to take that personally, because if I gave it to a vassal, it would actually be put in a trade company, and the missionary strength would be reduced by 100 for doing that, so you couldn't convert it, which was a major problem. So as I began, especially over here, as I begin to conquer over here, I start taking overextension a lot faster and a lot more than I really wanted to. You can see I've already opened up several fronts. This is 1660 already. If you listen to, I think it's Raymond's Paradox in his guide, you need 4,000 development by 1687. I had roughly 10,000. Now, a good portion of that was being able to have the vassal swarm just automatically added to that. But I went very, very quickly in this. The HRE is a very good way to get your first world conquest with the vassal swarm, and the fact that you get most of Europe very early, and Central Europe, very wealthy land, for free. Northern Italy, Central Europe, you can get it basically for free. So you'll see here, I'm going here, now I've gotten over to India. Here in 1687, I was crazy, crazy good. You can see this is white color, but it's British, right? This is still Castilian. Now, this was pre-Manchu, so you'll see I'm just building vassals with just like a line, like almost like flags. Just a line across of Asia, because if you can't add a new vassal to the HRE outside of Europe. So these guys just had to be it going across Asia, and the rest of these coastal ones, I would try and just give a little province here, and you can see him, he's trying to streak Siena over here, and some of these other ones, I'll streak Brandenburg over here eventually, just trying to get them. Here's Theodoro, trying to get them some land so that I can eventually give them land like over here, but I'm not sure I ever did. But I did try and get a little bit more of them there, but I have to take all this. and we will eventually, of course, be doing this. I think I had Transoxiana as an ally, which is why they are alive here, but eventually, obviously, that does not happen. But you'll notice that I have one little line here with Austria. There we go. We have destroyed Transoxiana. And I knew that I had to get my lands to connect to Ming to lower their mandate eventually. Now, I did get over here, though, from here, and you can see the connection here all the way over here. And eventually I'm going to try and connect up so that we have well over 1,000 development, crushing Ming's mandate, because that's the way it worked still back then. My personal unions, you'll notice I got a few of these achievements. I got the one that Austria built a trade company in the Med-Gaul region, and I got the one for Austria getting more PUs. Simultaneously, I believe I had Hungary under PU, Bohemia was under PU, Norway and Denmark were both under PU. I've annexed a couple of those now. And I actually got a chance to break an alliance and break a truce with France as well and claim their throne. So I had France as an ally, or as a personal union as well at one point. And you can see here I've connected all of this up, just snaking it down, connecting it to Ming. The idea was just tank their mandate as well as I could, and it worked very, very well. As you can see that things are beginning to wrap up in the world conquest portion. At one point conquering over here, I had over 300 overextension. It was after a couple of wars against Ming's tributaries. And actually, if you're in the League of Average Gaming, if you check out his Empire of Man run, one of the episodes he talks about what does a 300 overextension look like. That was when I was conquering this area in this game. So Ming will fall, and then the last one to fall, the last nation to fall, was Castile. And once Castile falls here, I will have conquered the world. And that will have happened. They were revolutionary. How about that? So I did not have to truce break. I don't think I ever had it to truce break. I did a couple times, especially for like France, but I don't think I ever had it to truce break in this world conquest. My Three Mountains run, I definitely did have to truce break quite a lot. But going so quickly, being so far ahead with the Empire already did make me have some time, allow me to have some time. However, so there's Conquer the World in 1789. However, the colonies began to have problems. So you're going to see colonies crop up and be released. We're going to release Brazil and Peru and Mexico and the United States. And the reason they had problems was that I think it was in Golden Century, they introduced a mechanic where a colony can use their colonist to increase development. Anyone can use their colonist to increase development in a province, and the colonies like to do that in their capital, and you can't convert their capital if they are trying to increase development there with a colonist, and they never leave. So I had to release the colony to conquer their capital and convert it, and then I tried to get as many of them back as I could before the end of the game, and I just essentially got bored, and Manchu was coming out, and so I ended it. I took the final reform and became the Holy Roman Empire one tag, but I don't really count this particular tag as a one tag, but that was that. Let me get out of the timeline. I'm not sure how to do that here. Maybe this. Here we go. So we can check out some of the stuff. We had 26,638 total development, and probably 28,000 or so, 29,000, almost 30,000 total development if you include the colonies. We have Mexico, of course, and the United States, not quite conquered all the way. But this is kind of where we were, and you can see that it is indeed a one faith run, that we have a Catholic, and if we go to the ledger, country, religions, 3,000 provinces are Catholic, nothing else exists in the world. So we have that one faith run. This was a ton of fun. I love playing Austria. I am so excited for the 1.30 update to be coming out very soon, and I get a chance to play Austria again for the AEIOU achievement. It won't be the first one I do. I want to play a different nation to kind of get a grip on the Catholic mechanics and things before I have to take advantage of the Shadow Kingdom or anything like that. But I just love playing Austria. I love this strategy. Go check out that playlist down below, and this is a lot of fun. I highly recommend playing as the Emperor. That nation is way super overpowered if played correctly, and tons of fun. And that's my encouragement. We will return. This video should be coming out on release day for 1.30 Emperor update, and if you're checking out EU4, it's a very fun game, and it's a ton of fun. And I have a tutorial series that has gone up that explains the core mechanics of the game as well as I could, and then hopefully will give you a little bit of a foundation to begin playing and kind of get your feet wet. And you might lose a little bit, you might fall down, but hopefully this will allow you to understand what went wrong and therefore get better. But I have been Thic Borders Gaming, and please like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel that you're watching it on, and I will be back with more EU4. I'll see you next time.